Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from July 18th to the 24th, and I'm using this Caress press kit called I'm a Fake. I actually purchased this artwork from two different shops. I really couldn't make up my mind. I do wish that the color schemes were slightly different just so that it, wouldn't be so similar, but I don't really care. I mean, I'll just save it until next year. And I wanted to make sure I had this artwork for whenever I go to like a big concert, but I also wanted to use it this week because, like I always say, I don't have a lot of summertime appropriate kits for July and August, and this was my boyfriend's birthday week, and his entire life is pop punk music, so this just made perfect sense in my mind. So yeah, I'm glad I actually bought two. Nothing much to say about the base. I left a full box off of Tuesday just because I had a lot to mark. This unfortunately was another bad week. I've been having a lot of bad weeks, so I'm sorry if I seem just like a total pessimist. I mean, I am, but yeah, like I really want a week where it's just fun and lighthearted, but this was definitely not that week. I was incredibly stressed out because we decided to actually, so I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'll just try to keep it short, but my boyfriend has a lot of small friend groups, and every year it's kind of stressful around his birthday because he needs to like see everybody. And so this year, instead of having a million little events, which to be honest, there were still like 3 events, which is fun, like nothing against that, but it's even for him, he's like, well, I need to see these people and I need to see these people and I don't want to leave anybody out. So we decided to just invite everybody from all of his friend groups to my apartment for pizza. So that was definitely stressful because I had to get my apartment ready, and I'm also, like, I'm sure you can tell from the way I talk about my roommate, I'm a control freak, so having a bunch of people in my apartment does stress me out because I don't like people touching my things. I know, like, it's stupid, and they're all really nice, so I don't have lots to worry about, but, it's just, again, it's something I need to work on, getting used to having people in my space. I'm not good at it. I'm a terrible host, and I wish I was a better host. And then on top of that, this was the week when there was a leak in the ceiling of my bedroom. Every time we have some sort of water damage, it's in my bedroom. I don't know if any of you remember years ago, this was like 4.5, 5 years ago, but a pipe burst in the floor of my bedroom. So even though we are on the second floor, my bedroom flooded. And like there was so much water damage, and like some of my furniture, the bottom is warped now. It's not super noticeable, but it still kills me every time I see it. And like my mattress cover was stained because I had to like bag up all my belongings, but even with bagging everything up, some of the dirt from the workers who came in to fix everything still got on my, whatever. So point is, this was a stressful week. But anyway, I'm already behind, so moving on to the day by day, starting with Monday, the first thing I marked with a square, and this little person I got on a freebie, so I'm really not sure of the shop. I don't have any other stickers from this shop besides the ones that I got on the freebie, but she's on her laptop, so I used that to mark work with a little thing and a sticker from the kit. I marked that I worked out with a fancy label and a slice of pizza from Olive Studio. I marked that Joe and I walked around just scouting out pizza places. We ended up just going with one of our favorite places in the area for the party. So, but we did like find some other pizza places that he and I might want to try someday, just the two of us. We didn't do it for too long just because it was so hot out. We were like starting to sweat a lot. It was like in the 90s. Under that with a fancy label and this olive having wine, which I didn't drink, but we finished season 1 of Only Murders this day. with a flag from the kit and this pumpkin paper Kotera doing the dishes. I marked that I did the dishes. And then the final thing for Monday with a fancy label and this couch that is from a kit that I just saved, and I can never remember the name of this kit, this shop, so I do apologize. But we watched the Challenge USA. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and this emoji from Coffee Monsters Co. in bed on their laptop. I marked that I worked with a fancy label and this barfing munchkin from Once More With Love. I marked that the whole apartment smelled like cat piss, like so bad. It smelled like we had never cleaned the litter box and our cats were like pissing and shitting all over the apartment. It was intense. I was not home the day before, so I came home to the smell. My roommate did text me and warn me that she like had no idea where the smell was coming. So of course I was an anxious mess, and I was like, of course we're having people over and the entire apartment smells like the inside of a litter box. So with a squared off box and this little spray bottle that I think was from like an old SPC kit, I marked that I deep cleaned like the litter area. I ended up finding the smell just from like smelling absolutely everything. Like we smelled all, my boyfriend came over to help. We smelled all the carpets. It wasn't on the carpets. It wasn't anywhere. So I ended up finding the source of the problem. I guess when the litter box had gotten cleaned last, because sometimes my roommate does it like really late, like at 3 a.m. So I don't think she like notices sometimes, whatever. It was just an accident, but basically a big chunk of like the clump, sorry, this is gross, of cat urine got stuck inside the litter mat that we have. And then she put the litter box, because we like remove the litter box and like move it around while we're cleaning it. She had placed the litter box on top of this giant pile of like urine, and it had just been sitting there festering. I ended up having to just toss the litter mat, which is a shame because it was a really nice one, but it smelled so bad. Under that with a little thing and this screwdriver, my friend Ilza from Ilza's Melted Plans sent me. I marked that Joe put my floating bookshelf back on the wall. We ended up going to Lowe's and I got drywall anchors so that I could secure it without studs. And it worked really well. And of course, just despite me, Brad has stopped trying to jump on it ever since it was reinforced. It's like he could tell it wasn't, going to annoy me anymore. So like, why bother? With an appointment label and this Walmart bag, I think from SPC, I marked that we went to Walmart and Dollar Tree to get plates and cups and stuff for the party. With a squared off box and this munchkin swatting a mosquito, I marked, oh my God. So I was deep cleaning my apartment and I was vacuuming and fixing my what do you call it? Comfort, what is it called? Whatever, my chair, my like nice chair that is in the living room. Sometimes the cats get their claws in it, and it does have a removable cover, so I use my little stitch fixer thing to like fix the snags. Anyway, I then vacuumed the chair, and when I vacuumed it, I found half of an old dried out roach. The cats must have eaten the other half, but it scared the shit out of me, and it wasn't fun. With a little thing and this Sticky Perks envelope, I marked that I got a jury duty notice. So yeah, I was just having an amazing day. Just between the cat piss, the roach, and jury duty, I was ready to just go to sleep and be done with this day. But instead, I decided to be responsible and work out. So with a little thing and these weights, I have no idea where I got these weights. I think they were on a freebie from either SPC or Carly Plans. I think SPC. I marked that I worked out with a fancy label and this happy munchkin head from a freebie. I marked that the smell was gone. I was so happy that that really was the source. And after just like letting it air out all day, it was gone. I was so happy. With an appointment label and this little present from the same kit that the couch came from, I marked that I wrapped Joe's gifts. And then with a little thing and a TV from the kit, I marked that I watched Sex and the City. And finally, with an appointment label and a stack of books, I marked that I read. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with a squared off box and this party munchkin was that it was Joe's birthday this day. With a little thing and an emoji working it from bed, I marked that I worked. With a little thing and this spray bottle that I've just had in my stash, I marked that I scrubbed the toaster and the stove and made it like perfect. It looked so good. I didn't want anybody to use it. With I think this is a work label and this insomnia munchkin, I marked that I got surprise last minute work. So like I thought I was done for the day and then I got more work and I was in a rush because we were celebrating Joe's birthday this evening. So I did manage to get it done, but and I should mention, like, my bosses are very understanding, but the thing is, it's contract work. So, like, if I don't work, someone else will do it and I won't get paid. So, like, I want to do it. But yeah, they don't, like, force me to do last minute work. They, like, offer it to me, you know? So, but I wanted to take it. With a squared off box and this stick with the Plan Co sticker, I marked that we went to this place called Nifty 50s for Joe's birthday with a few friends. With a fancy label and a spray bottle from an old school SPC kit. I miss these little freebies so much. I marked that I helped Joe clean his apartment. Even though he wasn't having people over, you never know, and he just wanted his apartment to be clean just in case. And the final thing for Wednesday with a little thing and this AC munchkin, I marked that we brought up his hair conditioning unit and installed it into the window. I just had a brain fart. Anyway, Thursday, with the fancy label and this tired munchkin, I marked that I had gotten no sleep Wednesday night with a little thing and this little Sims PC is from, I believe, a Creating & Co. kit, but I decided to use it to mark work because I thought that the teal sort of went with this kit. So I marked work with that. With a squared off box and this cleaning emoji, I marked that I cleaned my oven, which is so stupid, but like, so I sort of cleaned it once without oven cleaner, but it was so dirty. Like, I wish I had documented me moving into this apartment. I cleaned so many messes from the previous tenants, like it was insane. But one of the things that I've always been scared of, don't ask me why, I think I'm gonna like blow up or something. I'm scared of oven cleaner. But cleaning my oven without it just never worked. So finally, I just sucked it up and used the oven cleaner, and I'm so happy I did. It looks so good. With a work label and a munchkin on a treadmill, I marked that I ran. With a squared off box and a munchkin holding a birthday cake, I marked that I baked Joe's birthday cake. Then I got pretty frustrated because on Wednesday, I didn't mark it just because I didn't have the space, but I did stop at Walmart to buy frosting because I wanted to decorate the cake. Well, the frosting had clearly been sitting on the shelves for a very long time because it had gone bad, and this was like super late at night, and even if stores were open, there's no way in hell I was going to leave my apartment and get murdered for some frosting, so I had to make do with the other frosting I had. So this specific frosting I'm talking about was like a black writing gel, but it was completely separated. There was no saving it. I kept just squeezing it out and it was just oil coming out and I was so pissed. So I just used this. This is actually a hangry munchkin, but I thought the face worked really well for how I was feeling in the moment. Then with a little thing and this light bulb munchkin, I marked that I fixed the light switch. I didn't really fix it, but our lights weren't working in the hallway and I thought a light was out, but actually it's so stupid. We have 3 light switches for our little hallway and one of them was stuck and it was like a centimeter off. So because of that, we couldn't turn the lights on or off. And it was the one by my roommate's bedroom and I never used that light switch. So I'm glad I finally checked. So I didn't actually fix anything. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked with a quarter box and a toilet from SPC was that I deep cleaned the bathroom. With a squared off box and this existential crisis emoji, I marked that my vacuum wasn't working. I was so pissed because I wanted everything to be perfect. Fortunately, I have my tiny little handheld vacuum, so I made do, but it sucked. Then with a little thing and these angry munchkins, long story short, I didn't want to move my treadmill into my bedroom. I don't know why. I just really like things where they belong. I just didn't want to deal with it and have a treadmill in my bedroom. But eventually I conceded because Joe really didn't want the treadmill like taking up space. where everybody was going to be, and he was like, what's the big deal? So I conceded. We put the treadmill in my bedroom. Then with a squared off box and this happy birthday munchkin, I marked the birthday party. Then with a little thing and this crying baby munchkin, I marked that after everybody left, like pretty late. These 2 last minute people showed up, and like that's fine, but they showed up so late. It was like midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning. I can't remember. It was very late, and everybody just left and they showed up, and I was just like over having people over. But of course I had to suck it up because it wasn't my day, but I really wanted them to get the fuck out of my apartment. But anyway, they just like made themselves at home, and everybody else was enjoying themselves. I was just over it. I wanted them to leave. It was just me. So, you know, I had to deal with it. With a fancy label and this crying munchkin, I marked that I went into my bedroom and I heard this dripping noise, and I looked up and there was water leaking from my ceiling directly into the speaker holes of the treadmill that I had not wanted to put in my bedroom. You can imagine how bad my boyfriend felt after convincing me to put the treadmill in there and telling me, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. And then this happened. He could have never predicted this, but he felt like shit because I was adamant about not having the treadmill in my room. And then, of course, the ceiling springs a leak, and the leak is directly over the treadmill speaker. And then a lot of other things happened that night, like as far as like trying to clean that up, all that, but I didn't have room. So I just marked that I ended up waking up in the middle of the night with a stomach ache, and I was sleeping in the living room because my bedroom was like, the bed was off to the side because water was splashing on my bed. There was a trash can in the middle of my bedroom to collect the water until my neighbors could turn off their water. Like, my neighbor wasn't home upstairs, so like we were trying to call him, and he had to come in the middle of the night to take care of it because every floor of this building is owned independently. So it's not like I can call my landlord to do it. I have to call my neighbor to turn it off. So yeah, that really sucked. Moving on to Saturday with a little thing and an alarm clock from the kit, I marked that I was up early for obvious reasons. With a squared off box and this sad munchkin, I marked that I was just feeling really depressed and just super over everything because I just felt like I went above and beyond this week, and then the leak in my bedroom was a slap in the face. With a fancy label and a resume emoji, I marked that I started working on my resume more seriously because I did know that I would need to find a new job soon. With a little thing and a house icon that I've just had left over, I marked that my apartment was freezing because I had to turn the AC on really, really low because of my stomach ache the night before. Like, I was like sweating because it was like those kind of like, you know, when you get the runs, like those kind of sweats. And then I woke up way too cold. With a squared off box and this pumpkin paper Kotera holding up jeans, I marked that I went over to Joe's and helped him organize his bedroom. And then the final thing for Saturday with a half box and this couple from Fox and Pip watching TV, I marked that we watched The Black Phone, which I enjoyed. There were a couple things I thought were silly, but I thought it was pretty good. And then we watched The Challenge. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked with a fancy label and the sleepy Tara was that I slept in. With a little thing and a house icon from the kit, I marked that I went home to check on everything just to like make sure the leaking hadn't come back. With a little thing and this paw print from Michaels, like just a Michaels sheet of stickers, I marked that I did like all of the cat care. With a fancy label and a trash can I've just had saved, I marked that I took the trash out because my roommate actually left for the weekend Saturday to go see her family. With a flag and this box sticker, I think from Once More With Love, I marked that I helped Joe box up some stuff. And then with a fancy label and an emoji playing tennis, I marked that we played tennis. And then the final thing for Sunday with a fancy label and these munchkins eating popcorn, I marked that we started Only Murders Season 2. Moving on to my sidebar, the 2 things I decided to mark were Joe's birthday week and the ceiling leaking in my bedroom. And I just used another couple from Fox and Pip to mark the birthday week, and then this sweating emoji to mark the leaking ceiling because I thought it was perfect that the water was on his head. But yeah, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.